Hi friends, it is Leslie in the Cozy Yellow Cottage and welcome back. So I know I'm in the dining room. Good lighting, remember, good window. Today I'm going to give you a tour of the Halloween living room and I am going to make a zombie meatloaf. I know, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, I know it's gross and I know you guys have seen it before, but it's like tradition. It is tradition, but for you guys, it's a new tradition to watch me make this meatloaf. And I don't know what else we're going to do. We're just going to do something fall. Okay, so let's get it out of the way now. We're going to make our meatloaf first. I sped it up so you guys aren't grossed out too bad. So you can just use any meatloaf recipe that you have. I used one of those meatloaf seasoning packets. And I did put a little bit of ground beef to the side because I'm going to need it for a nose. Yes, a nose. First thing I did was form the meatloaf into the shape of a face. Then I added the nose on, carved in the eyes and the mouth. And then we're going to cover the whole face with some gooey tomato paste. Yes. And then we're going to cut up our onion. I added 2 small quarters to the eyes and then just slivers of the onion for the teeth. The teeth are the best part. I love the zombie mouth. Once the teeth are all in, we are going to cover our meatloaf with bacon, aka flesh. Gotta have lots of flesh on our zombie face. And I just tucked my bacon in underneath of the meatloaf. And you can see I added the extra onions here to the pan. And I baked this at 350, 30 minutes covered and 30 minutes uncovered. We're moving on to the living room. And before I jump into that, I feel like I owed you some cuteness after making you watch the zombie prep. So I am going to give Stanley his favorite squirrel. Look at this boy. So his little bones hurt, everything on his body hurts, and he spends a lot of time in his bed. So you can see we just have to bring his babies to him. And if you hear a loud snort behind me, that would be Charlotte sleeping. So I know I've mentioned it before, Stanley doesn't chew his babies up. He just sucks on them. He is the sweetest soul. Okay, so let's get into this tour. This is my favorite view from the sun porch when you can see the dining room and the living room. I always say when we list our house, that has to be the first picture. So over here on this wall, you saw that I changed that fall picture. And then the shelf is pretty much the same. I just added some of those ghosts that I made last year. And you can see ghost pillows on the sofa. And of course the ghoul, he's hanging over Paul's spot. I really love this area over here where the steps are. So I wanted to bring some height to this table and I couldn't quite figure it out. Then I brought this toolbox over and sat it there, and it was perfect. So I did have to carve a couple extra pumpkins, and they were a quickie. And I just have remote control candles in there because I am not one for turning things on and off by hand. Forget it. You can see Charlotte wearing her pumpkin. Okay, so she's getting a little thick. She and I both are. Here on the banister, I hung some candy corn bunting and some lights. And I forgot to zoom in on that picture back there, but I've had it forever. Look at Charlotte watching TV. She has too much. Yeah, I like the ghoul, and you can see the squirrel lamp is over there on the end table. So this is another one of my favorite views when I'm sitting here and I have all the doors open and you can see the TV and the sun porch. Love it. Up up here on this stand, I did do a decorate with me, but I didn't like it. So I cut that part out of this video. And this is what I have up here. This scarecrow thing I got at Joann's so many years ago. I'm going to say 20, 25. It's been a long time. And if you're new here, no, that ledge is not decorated for Halloween. And those aliens hang out there all year long. Yes, so does Bigfoot and the shark and the robot. There's so many random weird things up there. This corner's not the prettiest. I have that basket of quilts and pumpkins, the ghost pillows on the recliners, and that's kind of it. And Fishy's tank is decorated, which I showed you in another video. So that's basically the Halloween lived-in living room, because we're always in here. It's always messy. There's always toys everywhere. I hope that you enjoyed this happy part of the video, because guess what? We got to jump back into... We got to get that zombie out of the oven. Look at it. So I was disappointed at how round it came out. You never know how the head is going to bake. But I will tell you, delicious. So if I haven't mentioned it before, Zombie Meatloaf Day is my second favorite meal of the whole year. Outside of Thanksgiving, the zombie meatloaf. Ah, it's so good. I love meatloaf. So that night, I finally, after 35 years of being married to this man, got Paul to watch Beetlejuice. Yes, we had movie night, and guess what? He hated it. Go figure.